Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I seek refuge in Allah from shaitan in the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Friends, sisters and brothers, we are going to say commentary of verses 15 to 21, Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah says in verse 15, but Allah mocks them and prolongs them in their transgression while they wander blindly. And said in verse 16, those are the ones who have purchased error in exchange for guidance, so their transaction has brought no profit. Nor were they guided, that means that who of his effects emerge when a true servant of God radiated the light which made impossible to distinguish true from false and right from wrong, and made the straight way distinct from the way of error. To those endowed with true perception, all truths become evident, but those who were almost blinded by the worship of their animal desires perceived nothing. The expression Allah took away the light of their perception should not create the impression that these people were not responsible for their stumbling into darkness. Only those who do not seek the truth, who prefer error to guidance, and who are adamantly disinclined the pursuit to truth despite its luminously and deprived by God of the light of their perception, God simply enables such people to do what they wish. Allah said in verse 17, their example is that of one who kindled a fire, but when it illuminated what was around him, Allah took away their light and left them in darkness, so they could not see. Allah lighted the hypocrites when they brought deviation with guidance, those occurring other blindness to the examples of the person who started a fire when the fire was lit and illuminated the surrounding area. The person benefited from it and felt safe. Then the fire was suddenly extinguished. Therefore, total darkness covered this person, and he became unable to see anything or find his way out of it. Further, this person could not hear or speak and became so blind that even if there were light, he would not be able to see that. This is why he cannot return to the state that was his before. His happened to him. Such is case with the hypocrites who preferred misguidance over guidance, deviation over righteousness. This parable indicates that the hypocrites first believed, then disbelieved, just as Allah stated in other parts of the Quran. Allah said in verse 18, deaf, dumb and blind, so they will not return to the right path, and said they have become deaf to hear, dumb to utter, and blind to perceive the truth. And said to verse in 19, or it is like a rainstorm from the sky within which is darkness, thunder, all lighting. They put their fingers in their ears against the thunders in dread of death. But Allah is in comparison of the disbelievers are like a rainstorm in the sky, bringing darkness, thunder and lightning. They thrust their fingers in their ears to keep out the stunning thunderclap for fear of death. But Allah ever encompasses the disbelievers The lightning almost snatched away their sight. Whenever it flashes for them, they walk therein, and when darkness covers them, they stand still. And if Allah willed, He could have taken away their hearing and their sight. Certainly, Allah has power over all things. Allah said in verse 20, the lightning almost snatched away their sight every time it lights the way for them. They walk therein, but when darkness comes over them, they stand still. And if Allah had willed, He could have taken away their hearing and their sight. Indeed, Allah is over all things competent. The first parable refers to their hypocrites who disbelieved completely but had become Muslim merely to further their worldly interests. The second parable refers to those who were prone to doubt and hesitation, or whose faith was weak, who believed in the truth but not to the extent of exposing themselves to hardships for its sake. The violent rainstorm here alludes to Islam, which came to the world as a blessing. Pitch dark clouds, thunder and lightning refer to trials, tribulations and difficulties which confronted the Islam movement. Owing to the violent oppositions and resistance of those committed to the ignorance, the last part of the parable portrays to the state of mind of the hypocrite. They move a little ahead when circumstances seem favorable, but when either difficulties could be arisen and when the are given discreets which run counter to the desires and inherited produces that the seized with alarm and come to a halt. All said in 21 verses. O mankind, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, that you may become righteous. Even though the message of the Quran in address to all, benefiting from the depends of one's willingness and one God's support in relation to the willingness. This is why the Quran first explained which kind of people can and which kind of people cannot benefit from the Quran. As this has been explained in the foregoing verses, the guided sense of the message to which the Quran invites all mankind is now put forth, so that are saved from false beliefs and unrighteous conduct in this life and from the punishment of God in the next. So, friends and sisters and brothers, Allah Hafiz.